Hi, I'm Jeff Griffin. I'm the fire chief for Kitsap County Fire District 18, Poulsbo. We're a fire department that serves about 54 square miles on the north end of Kitsap County in the Kitsap Peninsula, and we have 42 full-time employees and about 30 volunteers. We're a department that has 4 stations, 3 of which are staffed full-time, 1 of which is completely volunteer. And what's really special about Poulsbo to me is the connection to community that this fire department has. They live and work in this community. The fire service is filled with dedicated people that care about the people they serve, and really there isn't much that a firefighter won't do to help somebody who's in need. And it makes for an interesting dynamic. They're interesting personalities. Usually hard driving, very hard charging, active people that just want to be connected to the community and find some way to serve. The fire service is a great way for a great outlet for them. Well, in this day and age, with very, very limited budgets and no ability to increase the amount of revenue we raise, then we just have to focus on what's really important, and what's most important, and it's brought the focus back to, is medical response. It's more than 70% of what we do, and it is probably the most critical thing we do, is the responding to medical emergencies and or trauma calls, auto accidents, and accidents out in the field. So. And it's made us get tighter with the communities because we rely more and more on volunteers and more on each other when there's less of us to do the same job. We do that by working together with our neighboring fire departments. We cross each other's boundaries freely in service to each other. And in fact, we have a very close relationship with our neighboring fire departments here at Fire District 18. Our relationship with North Kitsap is excellent. The wish is that the public doesn't even know where the borders are, so that all they have to do is know to call 911, ask for help, and they'll get everyone who's closest to them and who's best located to serve them. And it shouldn't really matter what it says on the fire engine that shows up at their house. They should get very competent people that are ready to protect them and ready to serve them. So that's our goal, and I think these more difficult financial times have made that happen more often than not. The public fire service is a very small group, and we have to be very careful with the resources. We have to use them most efficiently and effectively as we can. But the reality of it is that neighbors have to rely on neighbors. And in the event of a natural disaster, we've been saying for quite a while that people should be prepared to survive for 3 days on their own with enough food and water and some basic medical supplies that they could take care of themselves for 3 days. Because if we get into a large storm or earthquake or something where the roads are blocked, it may take us 3 days to get to people. And we just ask people to be that prepared. One of the great things about this community is the active volunteer program. And we really encourage people to consider becoming a volunteer at Fire District 18 in Poulsbo, because that's really the first line of defense, is your neighbors that have received medical training. So we're hoping that people will join and become volunteers. We need more and more of that. But the other part is become more reliant on yourself and be prepared to help your neighbors in case of a disaster. There's lots of very experienced, very talented people working and volunteering for this department. And their commitment level as community is just unbelievable, and their spirit about the way they're serving is limitless. It's a pretty exciting group. Not only do you find competence, you find confidence, you find joy. They're joyfully serving, and service before self is one of my core values, and I find that all over the place here at Poulsbo Fire. I find people that are living service before self all over the place. And obviously we have a very active public education, couple people that go out and teach bike safety classes and CPR classes and all kinds of things in the community. Each one of those adds strength to our community. We love interacting with the schools. We like to show them all the great tools we have. We like to demonstrate the equipment we have. We like to dress kids up in bunker gear, let them feel how heavy a breathing apparatus is. There's a couple purposes of that. One is they're not afraid of us. If we come looking for them in a fire and they hear us breathing through our breathing apparatus and wearing all that gear, and yet they've played with it in a classroom or they've played with it at a birthday party, it makes them safer as well. A big part of what firefighters do every day is train. We have to know each other. We have to know everything about each other. We have to know our strengths and weaknesses so that when we get to a real event, we're prepared and we can take care of each other. We have to take care of each other so we can take care of the citizens we're responding to protect. So training every day is part of our routine. We do all kinds of training. We do classroom training. If you're choosing to be a firefighter, you're choosing to be a lifelong student. You're going to be book smart, and you're going to continue your education all the way to the end, continuing to take college classes all the way to the end of your career. That's just part of growth as a firefighter. And then we learn the specialties, the high risk, low incident specialties like high angle rescue, or using a boat to make a rescue, or going into a trench that's collapsed and trapped somebody. Those are very, very dangerous situations, very rare. So we have to spend a lot of time and energy being trained for those things, even though they're very rare, because they're the most dangerous to the rescuer. So it's all those little pieces, and everybody knowing their small part, and relying on each other, knowing that the other person knows their part, that make us such a great team, that give us the advantage and allow us to do things that are seemingly very dangerous or sometimes seemingly impossible. We train to do them. We train with the little things that get us ready for the big ones.